How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and in honor of what we're seeing right now happening with the Bitcoin price movement, we've pretty much cracked the 12K mark, and we'll continue to hopefully see it trend upwards over time. Of course, currently standing at the 11,790 as a current Bitcoin value, respectively. I just wanted to talk about the future of cryptocurrency, and it takes a long time in this market in particular for the altcoins to catch up. I mean, we see Ethereum at the 233, and of course Litecoin is just struggling to even get over that $100 hurdle. And of course, when I searched up just Cardano news today, just bombarded with price plunge continues, price hovers around 0.057, and I think that it's important for me to start off a video like this just by illustrating. I remember just a couple months ago when Bitcoin was around $3,000, all these exact same news outlets were quick to publish all these different articles that were chronicling every dollar dip that happened with Bitcoin as if it was relevant, when in reality, I was making videos at that time talking about how we were seeing one of the greatest cryptocurrency sales, possibly one of the last opportunities for people who aren't that wealthy to accumulate vast amounts of intergenerational wealth in the form of digital assets, scarce digital assets. And I basically made this known in multiple tweets at the time. I used to screenshot the Bitcoin value all the way from 3,000 all the way up to 5,000, even 6,000, 7,000. I would talk about how all the cryptos are on sale. And it's very interesting when I speak to people who are new to cryptocurrency or people who say that they've given up on cryptocurrency. Oftentimes we find that people are more interested in Bitcoin when the news and all these different things really show how they're able to drive the narrative and have a real influence on the way that people invest in all these different things, and overlook the value of cryptocurrency when it's the most value in Bitcoin is when nobody's talking about it. The most value in Cardano is when the price is low. When the price is high, the ship has sailed and you're getting ready to catch that plummet downward. And this friend who I was speaking to, who was telling me that he's given up on Bitcoin, was telling me that he bought back at the $19,000 levels of 2017 and then sold at a loss. And this conversation that I was having really did spark an interest in me, which basically inspired this video. And of course, I just want to talk about how we are standing at the precipice of what will be probably the ship sailing for the altcoin sale that is still sort of lingering from the time of Bitcoin's price. And once Bitcoin really, this bull market really ticks off. Right now, of course, we're seeing Bitcoin and its price moving. The ship sort of sailed. If you haven't accumulated a full Bitcoin, it's not too late to accumulate these altcoins. And of course, Cardano being a very interesting case study as far as what I like to call the baby Bitcoins and the potential cryptocurrencies that have a lot of real significant potential as far as moving forward. As we see the greater aspects of the paradigm shift that's currently proceeding. Now, of course, am I telling you that we'll never see Bitcoin below $9,000? We'll never see it dip below the 5 digits ever again. Hopefully one day we do see a Bitcoin sale, the likes of which gave people the opportunity to accumulate at those certain levels. And of course, everybody has their own predicament depending on where they are, but who doesn't like some cheap Bitcoin? So of course, Cardano, of course, is the subject of this video, and I wanted to just make this sort of public service announcement because I think that it's important to drill these points into people's heads. If you and your family and all, you might be a cryptocurrency believer yourself, and you might have had this conversation with loved ones, had this conversation with friends and family, and really discussed the importance, the significance of what's occurring right now as we see the cryptocurrency paradigm shift really rearing its potential and showing off a lot of these different aspects of the paradigm shift. And of course, when we want to talk about the natural progression of these technologies, I mean, we look at Cardano and we take into consideration, we built on top of what first came as digital gold in the form of Bitcoin, and of course still around, still showing us that the potential of blockchain is a vast new paradigm. I mean, it's really entering into the new age, and in comparison to what's coming right around the corner, people will remember the way that the internet was used in this time as the Stone Age. Shit you not. I mean, it's that important to understand the sheer gravity of the situation. And I mean, the fact that something like Cardano, a project that I personally believe in, I'm able to accumulate at these levels. I'm just as excited to buy Cardano at 5 cents as I was to accumulate Bitcoin at $3,000. And I say that with complete confidence. And I mean, just this tweet right here, important message as we enter the next Bitcoin bull market. BTC is very volatile. You can lose all your money. Only invest what is okay to lose. Twitter is not investment advice. And of course, this video is not investment advice either. Of course, remember this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I always like to say that. Of course, remember, I'm not your dad. I know that's sort of a meme at this point, but still, it is the truth. Keep low time preferences. Of course, do your own research. Make sure that you guys do your own research. And I'm, fairly confident, that the potential for future generations of wealth is still, even if like you think that, who knows when the people who are actually, most of my subscribers watch these videos as soon as they publish, but I don't know if you're watching this a month from now, and perhaps it's September and Bitcoin is reached beyond the 12,000 and reached beyond the $20,000 psychological barrier, and maybe there's a flood of new people who are coming into the space, which will inevitably happen, whether it's a month from now or whether it happens in the grand spectrum of time, when we eventually do inevitably see Bitcoin break beyond its old points of all-time high. And with that, we will see all the normies, all the Joes at the water cooler who wish that they might have accumulated when it was less of a USD sort of risk, which of course, in comparison, $3,000, last Halloween probably does sound a little bit more appealing than trying to jump on board at 11K, because for all we know, we could see it crash from here, and of course go back down to $9,000. And for those of us who had been accumulating since December or so, of course we'll ride that, take profits, and wipe the sweat off our brow and go towards to meet another day of cryptocurrency, just the same way that people who were accumulating Bitcoin back when it was below $1,000 were able to accumulate and are seeing 100,000% or something crazy like that on their investment. And that's the game. So but it is interesting to see, and I'm very confident in something like Cardano. As if Bitcoin is any representation of the paradigm shift, just showing that the potential is there. We will see a very interesting it's a very interesting shift in the attention towards the altcoins inevitably. Of course, it has been sort of a black sheep sort of scenario. This recent bull push, and I believe it'll stay that way. Technically, until we're only establishing higher lows, lower highs, up until we reach that Bitcoin at 14K and beyond. But in that same token, it is very important not only to accumulate BTC, which is my main priority, but of course, I think I do have a special section of my portfolio that I'm willing to go to zero, that I have My altcoins, I mean, of course, remember altcoins are in general more of a risk, in general, more risky. There's a lot of potential up and down swings, but still, I mean, that's where the proof in the pudding is. I mean, that's where the real potential for some wealth building does come into play, with stuff like the baby Bitcoins that we do talk about quite often on this channel. So now, all that being said, if you guys are interested in connecting with us on Twitter, you could do so at CryptoTuber on Twitter. Always interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Crypto fear and greed index, now sort of slightly ticking towards the greed, which is good for us. But yeah, all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this content, and I'll see you guys next video. Have a good one.